Alright fam, I'm gonna come up with a better intro later because I changed my channel name. But let's just get into my TBR for the Queerlet Readathon because I have no ideas for an intro right now and I'm filming this at the last minute. Not exactly the last minute, but enough of the last minute to where I feel like I don't have time to come up with an intro. So anyway, I have a TBR for the Queerlet Readathon that is completely unachievable, but it will get me a blackout if I manage to read all of the books. I'm going to tell you now, I will not be reading all of these books. I don't think I physically could. I'm starting with the books that I'm going to hopefully finish, and then working my way back through the books that I'm probably not going to get to. So without further ado, let's get to the books that I'm reading for Queerlet Readathon Round 6. First, I'm going to put my focus on the audiobook of Elazo. This qualifies for the Ace or Aro MC challenge, the BIPOC MC challenge, because the main character is indigenous, specifically Lipan Apache. I'm not sure if that's how you say Lipan, but I looked it up, but there seems to be no common consensus on how you pronounce it that I could find in a quick Google search. So I tried my best. It's also own voices because the author is also Lipan Apache, and it's also a non-coming out story. So those are the challenges it fits, and here's a brief synopsis because I took some notes because I was like, I don't remember what this book is about. Let me actually tell people what it's about. So, in this world, humans walk side by side with beings from lore, whether that's indigenous people or not. Apparently it's both. And then, so Elazo can raise the ghosts of dead animals. I believe she has a ghost dog, which sounds delightful. And then her cousin has been murdered, where, quote, no one wants prying eyes, but she is going to do more than pry. So that is what Elazo is about, and I'm sure I'll probably finish it by the end of the week. It's an audiobook, so like, hopefully, but yeah, that's my main focus. My second main focus is The Summer of Everything, which is the group book, so it satisfies the group book challenge, the MC Not Like You challenge, and my create your own challenge, which I made read a book that is hyped by Audrey from Perpetual Pages. So it's not Cemetery Boys, but it's still a hyped book by Audrey. It counts, okay? And so the character is biracial, I believe, and also gay, so not like me. So it counts for those challenges, and I really hope that I'm able to finish this by the end of the week, because I'm really looking forward to it. Basically, it's like a contemporary set in, I think, a comic book shop. I didn't write down notes for this, guys. I'm going off the top of my head. And I guess I could look at the back of the book. It says adulting is hard. Yeah, he's a comic book geek. He excels at two things, slacking off and pining after his best friend Nico. And yeah, he has a job at a local indie bookstore, and it's threatened when a coffee shop franchise wants to buy the property. And to top it off, his family won't stop pestering about picking a college major. When all three problems converge, Wes must face the one thing he's been avoiding: adulthood. So there you go. I read the back of the book for you, essentially. And yeah, it's going to be lit. Next, I'm going to be reading... I'm probably going to finish these two, to be honest, because they're going to be so quick. But to satisfy the graphic novel challenge, I'm going to be reading both Heartstopper updates and the Fever King webtoon updates, because I don't think I'm completely caught up on the Fever King webtoon, even though it ended. That's just me being lazy. And then Heartstopper updates, obviously, I've also been lazy with. But the Heartstopper updates will also work for the Queer Friends challenge, because Heartstopper has queer friends in it, and it's great. As you can see, I've got a lot of challenges completed. I'm going to put up a bingo board of what my bingo board will look like if I complete all of these books / webcomic updates. It looks pretty lit, doesn't it? I don't know what it looks like, honestly. But I'm assuming it's a lot, because I feel like I've gotten a lot of challenges covered with these books / webcomics. So, anyway, to complete the other ones, I'm going to be reading Stay Gold, which is basically, I wrote down a little synopsis of it too, because I couldn't remember what it was, and you'll see that in my recommendations video. But it's basically a coming-of-age love story between Pony, who is a stealth trans guy, and Georgia, who is a cheerleader. This counts for the pre-medical transition trans MC and the See Yourself challenge, because Pony has not gotten top surgery yet, and I want top surgery. So there we go. I see myself in him, because we both want top surgery. It's a little bit of a stretch, but work with me, okay? It's hard. Next is the remaking of Corbin Whale. I didn't write down a synopsis for this, but just from the cover alone, you can tell it gives you winter vibes, so it qualifies for that challenge. And it's also adult fiction, so it qualifies for that challenge. I believe it is a holiday romance. I think it takes place in maybe a bakery, if I'm remembering correctly. But if neither of those are true, I'm a fool, so what can I say? Next, I'm going to be reading You Should See Me in a Crown, which I believe I have on audiobook. So, like, if I finish a lot, so I'll have another audiobook to listen to. And this really just qualifies for a host recommendation, because I've already got the other challenges it qualifies for covered. If you're wondering what those challenges are, it qualifies for a BIPOC MC, and I believe it would also qualify as own voices, I think, and an MC not like you, because I am not like the main character at all. So, yeah. Next, I'm going to be reading The Tower of Nero, which my fingers are covering up. I actually just bought this book today. This is going to be the Retelling, challenge. I bought this book today because I just finished The Tyrant's Tomb. It was good, and I'm probably going to read this before the Queerlit Readathon starts, so I'm a fool. But I put it on my TBR, so, and I can't think of another retelling that I could potentially read, so even though I recommend you some in my recommendations video, I was like, I don't want to read any of these right now, so I put this, and that's what you get. Even though I'm probably gonna read this, like, after I finish this video. So, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I realize I did not give synopsises for the past two books. You Should See Me in a Crown is about a girl trying to win homecoming queen so she can get a scholarship and go to college. And The Tower of Nero is the fifth book in the Trials of Apollo series. The Trials of Apollo series, in case you aren't aware, well, the synopsis is actually kind of a spoiler for the Heroes of Olympus series, so I'm not going to tell you what the Trials of Apollo series is about. And finally, for a challenge that I'm not even sure it works for, but I got it on my TBR recommendations, and it sounded good, and I was like, I think there's a background romance in this book. The space between worlds. So basically what this book is about, because I wrote down notes for it too, is that there is multiverse travel, but you can only visit that particular multiverse if your other self is dead. The main character has a lot of dead doppelgangers, but somehow one comes and finds her, and then shenanigans ensue. I assume it's probably more than shenanigans, but I didn't write down... I wrote down trouble finds her when a doppelganger finds her. So, there we go. Trouble is probably a much better word than shenanigans. So anyway, that's what this book is about, and I hope it has a background romance in it, because it sounds like it does, and I don't know. I hope romance isn't the point of this book, because I would be a real fool if I chose it for background romance, and it did. But like I said, this is literally the last book on my TBR. I don't think I'm going to get to it. So you'll just have to find out when I read it, whenever I read it. So anyway, information about the Queerlit Readathon will be linked in the description down below. You should go check out it if you haven't already and you don't know anything about the Queerlit Readathon. And so, yeah, I don't need a new outro because I don't need a new outro. I don't know where I was going with that, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.